Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome back to Fem Tarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader and healer, and I hope everyone is doing well. This is your one-stop shop channel for anything spiritual, astrology, pop culture, true crime. We've got it all here. I hope everyone is doing well. I missed you. It's been it's been a while. It seems longer than it has been, but as you guys know, this week has been awful, has been absolutely awful for myself, for my family, for my mom. Um, yeah, a lot has happened this week. And on top of everything, we had this massive fire, which wasn't that far from us. I mean, we were safe, but still we couldn't breathe. There was a lot of smoke. We had to stay indoors, close our windows, close everything. We couldn't go anywhere. There's a heat wave, right? It's a mess, you guys. It's a mess. It's a mess. But before we start, and as we're waiting for people to enter the room, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I don't want to cry. I'm not going to cry. I said I'm not going to cry. But you cannot imagine how much I appreciate and how much it means to me and my family, the love, the support, the care, the heartfelt condolences that we received during this time. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really mean it. I'm not one who comes on and cries and shares everything. I'm not an oversharer. I'm not someone, but when all this happened, and it happened suddenly, you guys, my stepfather, who pretty much raised us. I mean, I'm very close to my dad, but he was like a second dad to all of us. And he's been through a lot, like health-wise, the last 20 years. He went through 2 cancers. He survived that. A heart attack. I was there. Luckily, I was there because I was able to take him straight away to the hospital, but that was scary when that was all happening. It's a lot. He was older. He was 86 years old. The issue now is that my mom is younger. My mom is 67. Yes, mom, I just outed your age. Sorry. So that's been a big blow for my mom, as you can understand, because things happened fast. And I mean, what can I say? It was, even though he was 86 years old, and at the back of your head, you're always like thinking that day will come, right? But it's always a shock. It's always a shock when that happens, and the way it happened was also shocking as well. But doing much better now. I needed a few days to really process what happened, be there for my mom, because my mom it just feels like the rug was pulled under her feet. She just feels lost, because she didn't have the time to, in a way, she didn't say goodbye. She didn't have time to say goodbye, because as soon as they took him to hospital, he passed within half an hour, in the emergency room. So it's been a week. And then on top of everything, we had the fires yesterday here. There's so many fires around Turkey right now. It's Greece, we have so many fires, but Turkey right now, they have a massive fire. And a lot of this, the smoke is even coming to us, to Greece. So there's a lot going on. And I want to talk a little bit about the astrology, jump on what's happening right now, because I have been talking and I have been kind of warning you, I have been warning you that this is going to be a summer that is not, it's like no other. This summer is going to be like no other. So many things are going to happen, whether it is personally, not just for me, but for all of us, or collectively, or in the world. There's just so many things going on. And as you guys know, I had to, before I go on, just let me know, is the image okay? Is the video okay? I'm always stressing about that. It is retrograde season right now. And aside from the retrograde season, we have Mercury, who is retrograde. And then we also have Saturn, who's also retrograde. So that energy is just, whew, it's a lot. People are saying video is blurry. All right, hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I can figure this. Okay, let me just drop myself and then we'll continue. Sometimes it works when I just go out and come back in again. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, hopefully this worked. If it didn't, sometimes it takes a while. I don't know why this does it. Ugh, I don't know. I cannot deal with the, so apologies in advance if this is really super pixelated, but sometimes it just, it sorts itself out. Um, so you are 4K now, finally. I should be 4K all the time because everything's set up for 4K, or at least, super HD. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so we do have Saturn and Mercury retrograde. You're seeing this collectively as well, like what's happening in the world. So much great craziness going around right now. And also the sun is in Leo, is opposing Pluto and Aquarius. And as you know, these are two opposing signs, Leo and Aquarius. So that's a lot. And it also made a lot of sense. And Uranus is in Gemini too. So there's just so much going on. And this made sense to me when I looked at my stepdad's chart, because I did. I needed those answers. Just finding out why now. What was it now? And then I'll briefly share with you my experience, because we do talk about this, because as you guys know, I'm a medium too. So that was extra hard for me being a medium, and I'll explain why. But so I looked at the astrology, the transits, and his chart. He was a Pisces, by the way. And the fact that the sun in Leo is opposing and was opposing, and this was on the day that Ozzy Osbourne passed as well, on the same day. So I told my mom, stepdad, he is a legend. Two legends passed the same day. And, I was trying to kind of help her through it. But, Leo rules the heart. And here's the interesting part, because what happened with my stepdad was he had, I don't know, I didn't know the term. So what happens is when your intestine, whether it's the big or the small one, gets blocked and nothing can go through. And if you don't catch it early, because that you need surgery for that, but if you don't catch it early, what happens is it can rip your intestine. Sorry, TMI. And then that goes everything. So you get sepsis, and then eventually, hopefully, you get help fast. But what happened with my stepdad was he was refusing to go to the hospital. So he had a stomach ache. He wasn't feeling well. They thought it was a stomach bug, and he was refusing to go to the hospital because, as you know, when we've talked about this on the channel, we usually have a premonition, of feeling just before we pass. And he did, because he told my mom, don't take me to the hospital because I don't want to die in the hospital. I'd rather die home. And my mom's like, don't be silly. It's some kind of stomach bug, whatever. So he went to hospital third day, and that's what happened. He eventually passed from a heart attack because there was sepsis, went everywhere. His heart stopped, which makes total sense when you look at his chart and you look at the current transits on the day that he passed, which was on the 22nd of July. And the energies were very, very strong, still are. And this opposition, sun opposing Pluto, is what eventually created this exit for him, and he exited. Also, my mom is a Gemini and Uranus is in Gemini. Uranus in Gemini means that it brings shock, a lot of like sudden endings, shocking news, abrupt endings. So, and unrest. It could be social unrest if you look at the collective. It could be family unrest. It could be personal unrest in general. So, my mom being a Gemini, this is what happened. So, it all kind of made sense to me. And I just want to share really quickly before we get to our regular programming and our regular readings. Sometimes it helps to talk about it. And I love sharing with you guys. And I love these Sunday lives and love hanging out with you. We're family. We're the Femme Villagers. So what happened was, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So what happened on the day that he passed in the morning? That's when my mom took him to hospital. I had no idea. I had no idea that he had well, let me backtrack. In the morning on Tuesday, the 22nd of July, woke up feeling very, very, very anxious. Feeling, that feeling like, oh, I feel something bad's gonna happen. We're gonna have some kind of news, but I kind of, because I also suffer from anxiety, I kind of like pushed it aside and I said, maybe it's one of those days where my anxiety is like full on. It's also super hot. And, during heat waves, just so you know, we have nurses and doctors in the Femme Village, and I'm sure they can add to this. But did you know, you guys, that heat waves and generally the heat does affect your neurological system, and which is why a lot of people get super depressed and they get super depressed during spring and especially summer, and a lot of like self deletions happen during summer if you look at the statistics as well, because it does affect your neurological system. And where was I going with this? Bear with me today, you guys, because I'm still. It's been a week. It's been a week. So yeah. So I thought on Tuesday, it's probably because of the heat, major heat wave. So for those of you who know Celsius, we've had 45 degrees Celsius. So this is like 110, I think, in Fahrenheit. So super hot. So no one was driving, no one was walking out. Like you couldn't see anyone in the streets. Everyone was cooped up under the AC. So I kind of dissed it, and he kept popping up. And I'm like, oh, this is really weird. So I connected with my stepfather's energy to see why this was happening. And my mom called me at that point. She called me and she said, your stepdad passed. This is what happened. So, okay, it was a shock, etc. Got off the phone. And then I kept seeing him that he was around her. He was around her, that he hadn't crossed over. That's normal for anyone who's interested. It's normal. A lot of souls stick around at least until their funeral or after the funeral. It takes time for them. They're not fully prepared to fully transition or cross over. This is what happened with my stepdad, because he was around her. And my mom, being a psychic, as you guys know, she was feeling his presence and his energy very, very strongly. But because she's grieving and she was grieving, she wasn't really paying that much attention to what was happening around her. So I called her and I'm like, Mom, he's around you. You've got to let him go. He doesn't want to let go. He just doesn't want to cross over. He is worried about you. He sees you. So Mom, you've got to give him the okay that he's okay. My mom didn't. Not out of selfishness, but I think she wasn't, things were not computing. She was in shock. So she wasn't really paying attention to what I was saying. So I kept feeling him. He came to me in the afternoon, late in the afternoon that same day. We said our goodbyes, and then I asked him to, he needs to cross over, and I asked him who's on the other side waiting for him. He told me who his family members were there. So I said, you've got to let Mom go. You've got to. So he eventually did after the funeral, which is good news in the sense that he's now at peace. And that's when I was at peace as well. So as soon as that was done, I felt peace and my mom started feeling much better too. So this is what's happening. My mom, she she thought she heard him one night. She heard his voice, told her it's perfectly normal. Her also having psychic, she doesn't have mediumship abilities, but being a psychic too, it's easier for her to connect to that type of energy. So this is the story, you guys. I don't want to dwell on it too much, because we're going to do this today. We're going to lift our spirits up. I need my spirits to be lifted too with everything that's going on around us right now. And yeah, it's crazy times. Meanwhile, let's change the topic a little bit. Meanwhile, when was it? I posted it on social media. I think Friday. It was Friday. So Friday, I was able to sit down and kind of go back to my routine, back on social media, just, back doing my own thing and trying to bring in some normalcy back into my life. And I caught up with everything that's been going on this week, and this is what we're going to be talking about. Everything that's been talking about. But before we get to that, I just want to say hello to the chat, to the fem villagers that are always here. You've all been amazing, an amazing support. Thank you so much, Orchid. Thank you so much. What a shock that was. Thank you so much. I've got to be honest, you guys. I've been feeling for a couple of months that someone was going to pass without knowing who, and I honestly thought it was Freddie the dog, the dog that I rescued 3 months ago, because he's got all sorts of health issues and heart issues and whatnot. He's doing great, by the way, but because of the heat wave, I was worried. You never, although he's at home under the AC, very well fed, very well taken care of, but I was worried. But I was wrong. I was wrong. And this just proves as well that mediums, because you get that, you always get, especially on social media or people who are skeptics, you get that snarky remark where they're like, you should have seen that coming, you're a psychic, you're a medium. No, you don't always see it coming when it's so close to you, because again, you're a human being, so you try to rational, like me on Tuesday morning, trying to rationalize, is this anxiety, is this the heat, is this like, what is going on? Is there going to be the earthquakes that I've been predicting? Like, am I picking that up? Like, I wasn't sure, but it was that. So yeah, it's been a week. Thank you. Yes, do hit that like button. Don't forget also to follow me on social media. I'm planning to do a lot more videos, like incorporate social media as well, and what's happening, like with shorter videos, maybe shorter readings, quick readings on social. So do make sure that you follow me on TikTok. That would be a great help, because I'm trying hard to do something with TikTok. I already have 1,000 followers. I'm still trying to figure out TikTok, to be honest. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Let's see what you guys are saying, and then we'll get to the readings. My husband always says he can sense it before it happens, but he doesn't know who. You don't know who. My best friend, same. Yeah, you cannot. You can sense, you can pick that something is coming, but you don't know what or how. It is. It's different when I do. Oh, you're a Leo. Yeah. Love them too. He was a Leo, a lot of Leos. The same day Hulk Hogan died as well. I know. No, I'm so sorry. I'm telling you, it's until the end of August, it's going to be a roller coaster. It is going to be a roller coaster. Thank you all. I really, really, really appreciate everything, all your well wishes. My dad made our TV and stove stop working. He didn't realize he was dead. That happens too. That really happens. It also happens with animals. Everyone, if you're interested also in animal psychics, I did bring a animal psychic on the channel. This was a couple of years ago. You can find it on my channel. She speaks a lot about this. We talked about animals. Is it similar to like humans? What happens to animals when they pass? Do they come back? Do they leave signs for us or messages? And yes, absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. I've also had personal experience with some of our animals, my mom. But yeah, it's an interesting video. I would love to bring her back actually and do a live so she can take your questions too, because I think you guys would like that. All right. What's Roger saying? A day after those passings, including my sister's dog, I saw a dead crow in a parking lot. I just hope it's not a bad omen. People think that crows are bad omens. They're actually good omens. Well, it depends. Every culture has a different interpretation of what different signs mean, spiritual signs, what is considered an omen, a good omen or a bad omen. But to me, the crows are a good omen. They're not a bad omen, including like pigeons or any type of bird. Pretty much. A lot of times, by the way, deceased loved ones will show up as birds. My grandfather, for instance, he always shows every morning, he shows up as this beautiful little robin. He says good morning to my grandma as she's drinking her coffee in her yard. And I've taken pictures. I can post them on social at some point. Of this. It's the same bird. It's just because I've taken several every day. When I was back in Mauritius last year, I was taking pictures, and same bird. Okay, so this is definitely my grandfather. So just so you know, birds, they also show up as birds. Now, a bad omen, speaking of birds, a bad omen to me, not to me, to a lot of mediums, is when you find a dead bird, or you have a bird like, smash into your window or something. Like, it's happened to me twice, and they were bad omens. Bad omens. Both times, unfortunately, the birds died. One more time where I managed to save the bird, put it in a box, took it to a special wild animal sanctuary, etc. But though, to me, if I see dead birds, or if I find dead birds because they smashed into our window, we have a lot of windows in this house, then I know something is up. That is. Danny says, I think my dad is a woodpecker. Most likely. Most likely. So birds are usually, this is quite usual for deceased loved ones to show up as birds or send birds your way. They could be physical birds, or they could be birds like you keep seeing birds, like whether it's a logo of a brand, or, as you're driving, there's a poster, not a poster, a thing where you see their birds, or you just start noticing birds. That's definitely a sign. A sign. See, so it's like, I know someone who she keeps seeing bees, like bumblebees to be specific, and she knows that's her dad. That's her dad. And it happened, actually, we were having a coffee, we're sitting outside, and we were talking about her dad, and boom, bumblebee just appeared out of nowhere. And she was like, see, I told you, my dad. And I'm like, yep, that's your dad. And she actually put her hand out, and it landed on her hand, didn't do anything. It was incredible. It's just incredible. All right, real quick, sorry, I just need to I got a text from my daughter, and because she's spending time, she's with a friend, I need to text back just to make sure that everything's okay. Um, okay, sorry about that. Okay. All right, so what a week this has been. Okay, what a week this has been. So we have 3 readings, 3 topics to talk about today. So as I said, as I predicted, what now, like Blake Lively's legal team, what they're doing now is they're starting to drop those third-party subpoenas. And I believe they dropped 7 out of the 46 that they sent out from the smaller content creators. So I told you that and that's why I was insisting last time I was on here doing this live, and I was telling, and I was pretty much yelling and saying, you've got content creators, you've got to quash the subpoenas and write letters and make your voice heard. And that's what they did, and it worked out amazingly for them. Ness, everyone's curious. Yes, I forgot about that because this happened while everything was going. This happened a few days before my stepfather's passing, so I kind of forgot about that. We have the Coldplay Couple, so we will throw a few cards about that. Oh my God, the secondhand embarrassment for them, but we'll get to that. If they hadn't reacted the way that they had, which was so odd, so you should have like been like, yeah, whatever. I don't think people would have noticed. You know what I mean? I don't think that young girl that posted it on social and went viral would have gone viral. She would have posted it if they hadn't reacted the way that they had. So it was all weird, but we'll get to that. We'll do this a bit later. I want to get to what is happening right now. So we look a little bit at Blake. What does this mean for Blake's PR, for Blake Lively's basically brand, her reputation? This was a PR disaster for Blake. It was the whole lawsuit, in my opinion, and I'm not being, by the way, Manat and Co and Blake Lively's legal team, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not being paid by anyone. These are my opinions, okay? I mean, I can't believe that we are in 2025 and we have to worry about free speech and not getting sued and not getting subpoenaed by public figures whose fragile little egos can't take the criticism. Yes, there is criticism towards Blake because what she's doing is shady, in my opinion, and it doesn't take a legal expert or someone to know to go through the filings, all right, and go through the whole lawsuit and the website that Friedman has put up with all the receipts and the text to see that there is no SH. There is no SH. She, instead of going for, she didn't have anything to go against him. What she did was she sues him for SH, and then she sues him for defamation or retaliation claims, which is bogus. It's BS. It's BS. They have no proof, nothing, which brought on the subpoena gate saga. So we're going to look at that. Then we're going to look at, oh God, what a week this has been. So I've done a reading, as you guys know, on Candace Owens back when she came out with the Macron Becoming Brigitte series, where she's claiming that, I said that Siri just, you guys, as soon as I could see my Siri. Anyways, she's claiming that Brigitte Macron is actually not a woman, it's a man who is her brother, and her brother is the father of Emmanuel Macron. It's confusing. It is confusing. I did watch, I think, episode 1 and 2 of her series. This is back when that first came out. I was like, whoa. Listen. She brings forth receipts, and this Xavier Poussat journalist, which she's working with, they do have some receipts. But she thought they wouldn't sue. They thought that they wouldn't go after her because, according to Candace, she's saying the truth. Okay, she's a truth teller. But now they are. But I just want to give you my 2 cents when we get to Candace and this reading, because I'm not going to read if Brigitte is a man. I've done a reading in the past about, not about her gender. I think no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Not well. You know what? I need to be respectful. We need to be respectful. It doesn't matter if she's a man or a woman. Okay, right now, right at this minute, it doesn't matter. I understand that this would be a huge scandal if this was true for France, for Macron, and anyone who is backing Macron, who are other world leaders and other elites. But we'll get to that. We'll get deeper into that, but I just want to see where this is all going, because my feeling was, as soon as I saw that or I heard about that, I'm like, they're gonna drop this lawsuit. This is just to shut her up. This is to also show the world that, we're not afraid of Candace. We need to shut her up. It's not true, blah blah blah. But I do believe. But we'll do a reading on this, and we will see clearly. And then, of course, the Amy Bradley, that I wanted to do a separate video on that. I tried, but I wasn't really in the mood. I'll see how I feel. I will try to connect. I think I know what happened, but I will try to channel her and see if I can connect with her and what comes through. I will throw some cards and we will see what really happened to Amy Bradley. All right. Okay. And then we have the Coldplay Couple, and at the end we will just to end it on a lighter note. It's lighter for us, not a lighter note for the spouses and the families of these two people. I mean, yeah. Okay. I have done a video in Air India. You will find it on my channel. I'm not sure if it was like a members live or an thingy live. No, I do have. I think I have a separate video for Air India, and you'll find it. And I said it from when it happened. Since it happened, I said this was a man-made mistake. It wasn't a technical issue. I felt it was man-made, it was intentional. But you should go and watch that reading, and we will see. You guys, still, we don't, everything that came out about Air India is preliminary. They haven't concluded 100% yet. They're still conducting their investigations, so we will wait and see. That's why I haven't said anything about that. All right, so you guys, let's start. So, and before we do, of course, I'm going to ask you guys, before you forget, to like this video. And if you're new here, do subscribe. You're not going to regret it. We have the most amazing community that we call ourselves the Femme Village, because we are just the Femme Villagers. We're growing. We love to welcome in other people, because this is a community built on support, respect, love, spirituality, like-mindedness, all the good stuff. All right, so shall we start with Blake? There she is. And I picked this picture because it's like, you get a subpoena, you get a subpoena, you get a subpoena, you get a subpoena, and let them eat cake. Okay. This is what we get. All right, so let me bring up my banner. You never know. It's pathetic that we have to censor ourselves on YouTube, but here we are. Here we are. All right. So with Blake, if you have specific questions around the Blake, the subpoenas, like how things are going, do drop them, but just add a capital Q in front of your question so I don't miss it. All right, let's see. So we know that she has dropped the subpoenas for the smaller content creators. And so this is a chat show, and I'm not going to, you know what I mean. Chat show. That shouldn't have happened in the first place. Pathetic. As I said last time, it took months of Candace humiliating the first lady, the president, the first lady of France, before he actually went after her legally, is suing her. And here we are, Blake Lively, on a fishing expedition going after these content creators to bankrupt them. Because if you remember, let me just bring it up before we start this reading. Let's remind ourselves what came through. All right, here we are. This is the victory card. So I asked, what does this mean? How is this going to turn out for you guys after everything that's gone down? You guys are going to come out victorious, not just victorious. Stand your ground. Quash those subpoenas. Write letters, write to the judge, write to whoever you need to. Make your voice louder. We're here, the rest of us, the other content creators, we're here to support you, all of you, regardless how big or small you are. I will, again, you guys, after this, I will just drop, unless if anyone has them in the chat, the names of these content creators, can you add them in the chat? So you guys, if you can go subscribe, this will help them a lot. Stand your ground, be together, power in numbers, strength in what's right. And you guys are going to win this. This is going to be dismissed. The subpoenas are going to be dismissed. You're going to win this. And actually, what you guys are doing, the Empress, you guys, the wheel. All right. So what you guys are going to do, your voice is going to get louder. Make your voice louder. Regardless if legacy media or mainstream media picks up on this, it has started to pick up on this, but use your platforms. Anyone who has a platform, use your platform to speak out about this, because it's working and it is going to work. It is absolutely going to work. This is not going anywhere. This third-party subpoenas are going nowhere. Nowhere. Stand your ground, you guys. 9 of Wands. Nope. Don't even think about releasing, transferring your data, or allowing Google to transfer your data to the Lively team. No. Stand your ground. You're winning this. Okay, so you heard what I said last time in case you missed it, and here we are now. This is what is all unfolding. And to answer your question, no, Andy, Danny, Andy has not, oh, hold on. What's going on here? Okay, yeah, no, Andy did not reach out to me. He hasn't. But if he wants to, I'm more than happy, and I can give him some inside psychic info if he wants. All right, let's see what you guys are asking. I hope I didn't miss a question. So first question from Peabod: will the judge punish Blake and her lawyers for subpoenaing everyone and their mom and their dog and their hamster? And I'm surprised she didn't go after Reddit. Reddit doesn't like her. I'm just saying, but you can't go after Reddit. I guess it's so hard to find who's behind the Reddit users. I guess, I don't know, but it seems like it's going to be hard. Okay, well, the judge, you know what? I keep getting that this is a matter of couple of months before the whole thing drops. I've said this from the beginning of this year, when all of this dropped, became public. I don't see it going anywhere. I do feel that they are scrambling. Blake's team is definitely scrambling. I believe Friedman and his team are playing the long game, and they're playing it in a very good way. He's more PR savvy and more savvy than Manat, Ezra. I don't remember all of her lawyers' names, but Gottlieb, like all of them, all these Harvard law graduates, blah, blah, blah. I feel they're out of touch with the real world. And granted, yes, Blake, Blake slash Ryan are the ones pretty much dictating what their lawyers are going to do. But as a lawyer, you really need to draw an ethical line. What if your client asks you to do something that is illegal? Are you going to still do it? Because I don't know. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just using my common sense here. I don't think that was appropriate or legal in the way that they handled it. Not legal, definitely not ethical, definitely not, but maybe even legal. Maybe even we would need a lawyer to say the fact that they sent out the subpoenas, said nothing, never informed directly those content creators, did it via Google, did it via X and TikTok on the down low, on the sly, hoping, this is my opinion, hoping that these content creators wouldn't find out. And then when these content creators reached out to the lawyers of Blake, they were they weren't picking up the phone. They weren't answering. They were very, very vague with how they were answered. Like they were just buying time. So definitely unethical. I don't know if it's legal as well. So I like the question because it's a valid question. Because it seems that Lyman or Lehman, I don't know, Lyman, I call him Lyman, the Judge Lyman, seems to be leaning favorably towards Blake. He's given her he's given her a lot of space and leeway, I guess. The fact that, listen, at first I was thinking, because this is an SH case, he needs to be very sensitive and fair and kind of like tippy toe, because this is a sensitive topic, right? And this is a male judge. This is how I saw it at first, but I don't believe it anymore, because if you do a little bit of your own research, you'll find out the connections that Lyman has, and his brother Doug Lyman, who is big director in Hollywood and very much connected to these Hollywood types and these A-listers and blah, blah, blah. So there are connections. There are connections. So let's find out. So will Lyman, are there going to be any repercussions on Blake? Let me see. I'm picking. Well, I can tell you. What I was shown was, even though Lyman is not a big social media guy or someone who follows what is happening online, let me tell you, the last few days, I don't know if it's because someone in his family or some kind of paralegal or someone told him, but he's been checking out what is being said, mostly about him, not so much about the case. King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Well, to answer your question, Peabody, will the judge punish Blake? He won't. He won't punish Blake. But what he will do, though, because it's all ricocheted back, right? Everything that they did, everything. So I have King of Pentacles. This is someone with power. This is Lyman, right? He's someone who has power. And he's in a position of authority and of power. Two of Pentacles. He will try to be more fair, let's say. So I feel that from now on, he will start being he will be a little bit more easy on the Baldoni side. Whether it is requests, whether it is motions, whether it is deadlines, whatever it is. But listen, he was very firm about the deadlines. I believe deadlines for gathering for all the motions and the subpoenas and blah, blah, blah. I think it's in a couple of days' time. And that's the day where Blake is supposed to be deposed. Third time lucky. Or is she gonna run and hide again? Because if she does, then you guys, I'm like, honestly, Lyman, everyone should say, we're dropping this. We're dropping this. There's no point. Again, a reminder, if you're an SH victim or an SA victim, you're not, and you've put this forward, you started these wheels, you put these wheels in motion, which means like you're suing someone for SHing you. You would be eager to get your voice heard and your story heard, right? I mean, definitely me being a victim, I would be super eager to talk about my experience, because I would want to be over and done with as soon as possible. And for that person, the person who did this to me, to get what he deserves, right? So what I'm seeing here is that we're going to start seeing Lyman being a little bit more careful and more conscious and being more fair, right? Not tilting those scales in one way. Sorry, but he has been. And he's been very favorable towards Blake. 7 of Pentacles here. You guys, I'm going to tell you what I'm getting. I believe Lyman is completely, I believe now he's starting to realize, I guess, maybe because of discovery, maybe because of the MTQs, the motions to quash, because of all the saga with the subpoenas, he is starting to doubt whether this is an actual real case of SH. Three of Wands. Interesting. Will he recuse himself? He may recuse. Ace of Pentacles. I see a lot of pentacles around the judges and the lawyers, and I have to be very careful on what I say. Pentacles, you don't usually see pentacles in a court case or in a legal situation. You would see swords, for instance, all right? You would see a lot of swords. You would have the justice card. You would have the temperance card come up. I don't see that. I see a lot of pentacles. A lot of pentacles. And the only ones that I got was the Three of Wands. In my opinion, I don't know if he's going to strength. I don't know if he's going to recuse himself. But I don't know why so many pentacles. I asked the question, what does this mean for, what are the repercussions? 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. I have to be careful. Yeah, Val, Pentacles means money. All right. So let me just let me put some dots for you and you guys can connect the dots. Okay. See a lot of money around. I also see 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is a completion. Something comes to a close. It's usually, if you like in a business dealing or in a business reading, you see this, you're like, this is an amazing business deal. It's going to work out. They're going to be very successful. They're going to make money, right? And then I have the Ace of Pentacles, which is like, Ace is a new opportunity, something new. It's also offering someone something, okay? Whether it is it's money, it could be assets, it could be a home, it could be anything earthly, okay? And the strength here. Let me pull one more card. 6 of Pentacles. I don't know why I did that, but I'm just like Six of Pentacles, you guys. It's like you see this when someone does charity, someone who donates a lot of money, who helps other people. This could be giving a friend or someone like a friendly loan or some kind of loan. Okay. Do you see where I'm going with this? You guys can connect the dots here. You can connect the dots. Let me see your other question. Oh, that was the next question that Peabody asked. Well, it's interesting. I feel he has some kind of pressure. Listen, if dirty stuff, dirty, how am I going to say this? There's a history there. There's a history between Lyman and one of the attorneys of Blake's. A good history, not a bad history. I have a feeling that if some things come out, if the sleuths pick up on some stuff, he would have to recuse himself. Yeah, I don't see it happening now because I believe that it's all gonna it's a sham lawsuit. I'm sorry, it is a sham lawsuit. This is it's gonna be I told you this before. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be dropped. They will agree to some kind of settlement, some kind of apology letter, announcement, something. They would have to negotiate the deals of how this is gonna go down. So Blake can come as unscathed out of this as unscathed as possible. I think, and I've told you this before, I see Blake going and hiding for the next 2 years, licking her wounds, trying to figure out what the next steps are going to be, because even though we don't have the cancel culture anymore as it used to be, but definitely people are not going to buy what she sells, whether it's a movie, whether it's a shampoo that sucks, apparently, allegedly, this is what people say, whether it is whatever cash grab she gets involved herself in. So yeah, and I do believe, again, this is my psychic insights, all right, and I do believe that once it's going to be humiliating for Blake and Ryan on some degree, but I do believe that in order for Ryan to save his behind and his reputation, because he has a much bigger, he's a bigger A-list celebrity than her. I wouldn't say Blake is an A-list celebrity. I'm not being mean. Like, A-list celebrity for me is someone who anyone from whatever corner of the world knows who they are. Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio, Nicole Kidman. These are A-list celebrities. You say those names. Some people don't know who Blake Lively is. Okay. Some people don't know who she is. And if they do know her, it's because they watched Gossip Girl and not what she did after Gossip Girl. Let's be honest. So this is what I see. This is how it's all going to go down. This is how it's all going to go down. The Mint Mobile thing is a huge sponsor of the Vibe Files. I saw that when I finally got back online. You know who's? Oh, I'm not gonna say who because he's a good guy. But there is a podcaster, Bravo Pop Culture, blah 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 podcaster who does have Mint Mobile as their sponsor too. But there's nothing wrong with this person. I'm just saying I don't think he is aware of the connection with Ryan Reynolds and everything that's going on. And you guys, and I'm not saying go out and do it, but with everything that they did to innocent content creators who were just they were just sharing their opinions and expressing their feelings and just doing what they were doing, which was pretty much commenting on the court, on the lawsuit and everything that was happening. Mint Mobile should get punished in some way, because I believe, does Ryan Reynolds still have, does he have stocks? Is he a part owner of Mint Mobile or an investor? Something like that. So if you want to send Ryan a message, it's not going to be via Blake and the demise of her career, let's just say, it's going to hit him where it hurts most. And it's in his pocket and his business relationships and his bank account. Okay. What's light mission said? Be careful, Baldoni can appeal. It'll be obvious he didn't correctly handle. Yeah, and I think like Lyman's now waking up from his Blake stupor and realizing that a lot of people are noticing and they're talking and they are not liking what they're seeing, including lawyers, including people who know the law and know how this works, are questioning some of Lyman's decisions and Lyman's directive pretty much with his lawsuit. So, and he's starting to see this and see that this is not going to be good, because even though you're a judge in the Southern District of New York, Lyman, you don't underestimate, even though, listen, the boomers, I don't like the boomers, our parents, okay, are boomers, but boomers, I don't think that they realize or understand the power of social media and of the internet. They don't understand the power. They still live in legacy media, mainstream media land. No. And I think Lyman's starting to wake up to this. Gottlieb hasn't lost in almost 50 cases where Lyman has presided. What, Gottlieb, God, what's going on here? Yeah, we need the mummy sleuths, the internet sleuths, all the sleuths to do their thing, because the internet is amazing. All right, so I don't know if you guys have another question, because I think it's pretty clear. I do believe now. Let me throw, before we move on to the next one, which is going to be Candace. Let me just throw some cards when it comes to the 3 content creators that were subpoenaed directly, which is Andy Signor from Popcorn Planet, Candace Owens, and Perez Hilton. And Perez Hilton is representing himself. What a task. But it also shows that Perez Hilton has nothing to hide, okay? He's got nothing to hide. Otherwise, he would have hired I believe Friedman was his lawyer. But because of conflict of interest, Friedman would not represent Perez. So good job for Perez for doing this. And I think he's smart enough to be able to pull it off. But let's see. Because, okay, they're dropping the third-party subpoenas, but let's see what this means for these 3 creators, because they're the ones who are directly subpoenaed and affected. Hold on. Am I missing questions? Hold on. You guys, wait, I'm highlighting your questions so I don't miss them. And if I do, repost. But give me a second so I can look into this real quick, and then I'll just look at your questions. Okay. Picked up the cards. Instantly I connected to Andy first, because I do follow his channel and I watch him, and I've been following his channel for years. So maybe because I feel more connected to him. So instantly what I saw is like Andy, even though he came up on the agency list when they lifted the attorney's eyes only, and just so you know, Friedman and his lawyers asked from Lyman to lift the attorney's eyes only from the tag is the agency, right? That Justin Baldoni hired Samantha Jones and all of that. All right. Okay. So all of these PR stuff. So they wanted to lift the attorney's eyes only to prove to the world that none of these content creators, except for one, and they had already told us this a few days ago, that there was one name from all of these 46 content creators that are on the list. And that one name was Andy Signor. Okay. And the only reason why he was on the list was because he did reach out to the agency to tag, to ask for comments. So they added him to the list because he has a big channel, almost 1 million. And so, interestingly enough, what I'm seeing is that one of the reasons they're after Andy, or Blake is after Andy, again, remember what I said in this last, you heard me say it, punishment. Don't like you, don't like the way you talk about me, can't take the critique. You're Virgo stallion, Blake. Like, you can dish it, but you can't take it. It's obvious, because being a Virgo, judgmental queen, okay? And you've got a stallion, I've got a rising, so I'm not judgmental, not really, but you are. And don't like the critique and don't like the stuff that came out. And Andy has power because he's got quite a following. She wanted those three, Perez, Candace, and Andy. She wanted to involve them because she wants to bankrupt them. She wants to silence them. All of the good stuff. So I want to see if they're going to. I want to see if this is going to be dropped, because on what basis? What is the basis of subpoenaing them? What is it? Because they speak about you on YouTube or on TikTok? I don't get it. Free speech. First Amendment rights, free speech. It's a democracy for what? I was just about to say the bad word, but you know what I mean? It's a democracy. Yeah, unfortunately, Andy, again, I'm connecting more to Andy, but it also goes for the rest of them. They're going to drag it as much as possible, but I believe that Andy is all of them are going to get. I have a feeling that maybe Candace is not. What I'm getting now is that Candace is not quashing she's not sending a motion to quash. I do believe that Candace she does have her hands full right now with the Macrons and other stuff going on, but I do believe she will hand them some stuff just to shut them down, shut them up, not down, shut them up. She's not quashing, but what I am getting is that they're going to drag them as much as possible into this until they don't. Like, they're not involved. They're not going to get involved in this because there is not going to be a trial. Okay. So, but it's going to take much longer for them, for those three names to be dropped or cleared, let's just say. Hold on. Where are your questions? Wait. Yes, I've said this before. It will affect the relationship. It has affected the relationship already. It will. I mean, it has sort of started affecting the relationship, but it will, because I unfortunately I've seen that Ryan is going to move on to someone else, to bigger, better, shinier things than Blake. Okay. This is what I'm seeing, and it's gonna happen. And I'm not talking like 5 years down the line. I'm talking, I told you, within the next 2 years, a lot is gonna happen between them, with Blake's career, with everything, because as soon as the lawsuit is dropped and settled, because they're gonna have some kind of, like, behind the doors agreement. It's not gonna look good. Everything's gonna come out, and even the legacy media will have to report on it, talk about it, and ask the right questions. All right. Wait. Question. Do you see the content creators doing a class? No. Or uniting against her. I don't think they have much of again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm speaking as a psychic. I don't think they have much of a basis to do on a class action lawsuit. especially because they were dropped. Ezra knows what she's doing. She knows how to, she backtracked, and she knows how to cover her tracks too. No, I don't see this becoming a class action lawsuit. What I do see, this content creators and other content creators who weren't involved in this or dragged into this are going to speak out more, and there is going to be sort of like a wave where all of this is going to create like a wave of disdain. I was going to say hatred, but disdain towards celebrities, and towards especially the celebrities that curate very much their image. They use PR to do their dirty work. Inauthentic celebrities, whether they're A-list, D-list, doesn't matter. But I don't see that going. They're not going to go ahead with it. Also, it's going to take a lot. The class action lawsuit can take many years until you gather all the discovery, the receipts, the people, and it's costly. And I don't know if there are good, brave, I'm sure there are, but I'm just saying, good, brave lawyers that are going to take on. But no, I don't see it heading that way. Karen, I know, yeah, not all boomers, but there are boomers and boomers, right? Like there is, like my mom's a boomer, but she is very tech savvy, and then my dad's a boomer, same age, right? And I had to buy him a new phone. He wouldn't let go of his BlackBerry. I'm like, Dad, this thing has stopped working. We need to get you an iPhone. He's like, I don't want iPhones. I don't understand. So we got him a Samsung, it's a whole thing. And I remember like years ago, my dad would be very like, frustrated with my grandfather because he didn't know how to use the ATM machine. And I'm like, Dad, we come full circle. You may know how to use the ATM machine, but yeah, like he doesn't know. Like I did a LinkedIn for my dad. He doesn't even. I told him how to put a profile pic on because he couldn't find one. You still have that little avatar thing on his LinkedIn. Yeah. Okay, will anything come about with the Van Zandt sham lawsuit that allowed Blake and Stephanie Jones to obtain? Yeah, that is unethical and illegal. To obtain Jennifer Abel's phone and all her text messages, and then they dropped the charges. So what they did was they used wait, Peabody. She hired a new RICO attorney. Did this happen now, like today, yesterday, that I missed? Because what they did was they created a shell company called Van Zandt. Online, you will see it as Van Sham. And what they did is they used that to subpoena Stephanie Jones to work with Stephanie Jones to subpoena Jennifer Abels to get to the phones, okay, and all the texts and all the correspondence and everything. And so they subpoenaed her because they said they sued her for defamation, and then as soon as they got what they wanted, they dropped the lawsuit. So this is what Peabody is referring to. My guide said no, unfortunately, and that makes me angry, to be honest. I just heard no, that they're not. No one's going to. You know why? This is what I'm getting. This is such a circus of a lawsuit. The whole thing, the movie was a circus. The premiere of the movie was a circus. Even the movie itself, it was just like, it was a rom-com instead of a movie that should have focused on DV and the story of Lily, all of it. I haven't read the book, but I know that they are super fans that have read the book. Super fans. They are like, they love Colleen Hoover. They love the books, etc. And a lot of these fans are DV or SH or SA survivors. So what I'm seeing is that this whole circus, this whole sham, the Van Zandt sham, subpoena lawsuit, all of that is going to, that's why they will drop it, they will settle, because the pressure is on. The pressure is on because the internet's on fire with a Van Zandt sham lawsuit. So they can feel the fire is getting closer and closer. It's burning their butts, all right, their behinds. And that's why they will come to, Blake will come to the realization that she needs to make this stop. And the only one who can make this stop is herself and her husband, and say, fine, she could come up with some kind of apology or some kind of excuse. Her PR experts are going to help her with that, and hope that it goes away, faster rather than slower. So yeah. But let me pull the cards about that. Lovers. Whose idea was it? Lovers. Wasn't just her idea, just saying. This wasn't Blake's idea. It doesn't seem. Nine of Pentacles. When in this deck, this card, it's like Marie Antoinette. Like, even though it's not a queen card, but she has this, she has the coins, the Nine of Pentacles. She has something on her head that I can't see right now. I think it's a bird or a hat, but a little bit Gone with the Wind style, dress. And she looks like Blake a little bit. Look at the hair and stuff. So to me, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is also sacrifice, everyone. So they pushed Stephanie Jones under the bus, and they do that with everyone. They do that with everyone. Taylor Swift included, the bestie, the godmother. Pushed her under the bus. So I don't see this going anywhere. I unfortunately, I don't think that the Van Zandt lawsuit is going, there are going to be, some kind of punishment or repercussions for that, because they will have to lift up the carpet and just sweep everything underneath eventually, because nothing else will work. Let's see, how's Blake feeling currently? She's a bit in La La Land. Ooh. I don't think she's not, even though she has a stellium in Virgo, and Virgo's an earth sign, she's not grounded at all. She's not down to earth, not grounded whatsoever. Maybe she has a lot of like yes people around her, or people who compliment her all the time, and tell her, Blake, I love your hair, I love your perfume, you smell amazing, whatever. You're so smart. So how she's angry. She's angry. I feel anger. I feel anger. There is a lot of bickering and fighting between her and her husband. Some things they don't see eye to eye. Some things they're fighting about. She lives in her, she's up in the clouds. It's almost like she doesn't want to come down to earth and deal with what people are saying, what they're doing. She truly believes that she has the power, whether it's because of her husband, or whether because she has access to powerful people. She's got the money, the resources, I don't know what, but she, in her head, there's a delusion there. Okay. There's a delusion there that it's okay. It's okay. It will all get forgotten. People will forget about this. As soon as I make Justin seem like this, what did Ryan call him? A schmexual perpetrator, whatever it was called, oh, it's okay. Wait for them to hear my deposition if I ever get to that deposition, or wait for them and they will see and it will all fire back. We'll all come back to them. This is how it feels. It's almost like she doesn't want to take accountability, not to us, but to herself. So delusion, like, creates things in her head. This is what's happening with her, which is disturbing. And also something, it almost feels like she has no, how am I going to say this? Not feelings. Yeah. Well, she's very detached from her feelings. Very detached from her feelings. Not just now, generally very detached. She's not someone who's going to, she doesn't have this empathy. Like if she sees like a little puppy drowning, a video of a puppy drowning, like for me, I bawl my eyes out. I'm like, it just affects me so much. I'm like, the puppy. No, she's like, oh, a puppy's drowning. Next, oh, look, another video about me or Blake Brown or Betty Boos or Betty Buzz or Betty Boo Boo Caca, whatever, with all those Bettys. Yeah. All right. Yes, of course we can. But as you know, I always allow a little bit of time before I connect to the celebrities or to the people that pass. But I will definitely do on Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I back in the noughts, back in the 2000s, Perez was not a very nice guy. All right. He wasn't very well respected. Sure, he had the tea and all that, but he treated Lindsay Lohan, Paris, like he was mean. But people grow, people change, people evolve, people learn, people develop. There's so much. He's a dad now, so I do have respect for him, the way he's handling this, the fact that he wants to do it on his own, all of that. And it seems that he's a lot more empathic now, Perez, than he was back in the noughts, back in the 2000s, early 2000s, and the 2000s in general. So yeah, and that's a great example, and that's a great thing about Perez. I don't follow him. Sometimes he shows up on my news feed, and I will listen to him if I find the topic interesting. What did he receive? What did Andy receive? Comment from Friedman that TMZ did. What was that? Yeah, how did you know that? Dining out lover. Just before I came on the live, I read about it. I was, as a mom, I was horrified. As a human being, as I was horrified. So real quick, so what happened was, they last night, in the early hours of the night, someone found on a beach in the southern part of Athens. So it's not near me. I'm not near the beach. I'm more near the mountain. They found a 2-year-old little girl unalived, floating. She was wearing a bathing suit, no armbands, nothing. Like, she wasn't, and no one has come forward. No one has reported a missing child. No one has come forward to declare. Like, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. It's horrific. Dining out lovers, since you know of this, maybe it hit the international news, but let me just tell you what I got when I read that. Unfortunately, it feels like this was a case of essay, PDF, and what I'm not sure of yet, because this is very, very, very recent, happened last night, is because this girl was, I keep seeing that she was essayed and beaten, hit, like there was something on a boat. I keep seeing a boat, so I don't know if it's a yacht or a boat, but she fell off a boat or a yacht, which makes it even more disturbing. But what makes it even more disturbing is that no one has claimed this child. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that if you guys are interested. Like, if I find out, like, if I find out more psychically, or I find out something from the news. I don't know which one's going to come first. I will let you know. Okay, answer this one. All right. I'm far behind in the. Oh, is it just like with Diddy, right? See, it's the bad energy. She knows she's wrong. She knows she's wrong, but she's never going to admit it. Never going to admit it. No. Mm-mm. She knows she's wrong. She knows what she's done wrong because he didn't SH her. So let's start from that. Yeah. Okay. Very sad about the little girl. I know. Oh, I didn't know that he got sober, so he had substance abuse issues. Okay. I think he's grown as well. He's become more empathic. I believe, listen, we all have to give people a second chance. Everyone deserves a second chance, unless they've done something horrible to a child or an animal. And there, I do not give second chances whatsoever. So, all right, let's move on to the next one because, oh my God, where did time go? Okay, maybe I do. You guys, do you mind if I do Amy Bradley like next week? I'm still here next week. I could even jump on Monday. I could even jump on tomorrow if you guys want, and we can do a live Amy Bradley because I don't want to make this super long. Are you okay with that? And then we can talk about Candace a little bit and the Coldplay Couple. So yeah, I can jump on tomorrow. Either I'm going to jump on and do it live or whatever you guys prefer, or I can do a recorded one and just for that, I just want Amy Bradley to have my undivided attention. It's been years since she disappeared. The only thing I'm going to say that I know of for this, because as you know, I always wait to connect and I do this live. And sometimes I connect before, but I didn't have time to meditate and connect with her before we came on because my sister and her boyfriend were here the whole day. So I know there are a lot of rumors going around that Amy Bradley has been seen here, that she's been trafficked or transported, that all that. Let me just say that Amy's not with us. Not with us because I feel her. Okay. I know she's crossed over. Now the details of what happened, we will do that tomorrow together. Hope everyone's okay. If you're not available for the live, you'll watch the replay. And I think she deserves to have full, like a whole video or a whole thing just for her. Okay. Yes, exactly, Alexis. It's more important. So it should be separate and it should be on its own. It's on its own. Here we're doing a little bit of gossip, a little bit this, but this is true crime. This is something a lot more. So tomorrow, you guys, let me double check because I don't want to promise and not deliver. Yes, tomorrow, you guys, tomorrow I'll be back. So yeah, okay, perfect. So let's move on to Candace a little bit because Candace big mouth. Sorry, no, I don't mean it in any negative way, but I mean her mouth did get a little bit. Hold on, where am I? Oh, I lost it. Sorry, you can't see me because it was like, oh, where is it? Her big mouth got her in trouble. And let's see. So let me see what you guys are saying if you have questions about this. Okay. I did mention earlier that I do see that this lawsuit's not going anywhere. When you're in an ongoing or active lawsuit or you're being sued, you've got to shut up, right? You've got to say nothing because it can be used against you and you can get in legal trouble for it. So I feel this is why this is all happening, because they want her to shut up. They want her to stop. There's a lot of things happening now. I'm just telling you what I know from my psychic predictions and from my world event predictions and my meditation sessions. that, and I've said this, and I've been saying this for a couple of years now, because I did go back to one of my 2023, one of the prediction videos that I did in 2023. And I had forgotten, but I do have notes. By the way, I have everything in notes as well. Like I have journals where I write down all of my predictions, all of my visions, all of the prophecies, if you will. Now, what I do see is France. Listen, Macron, this is the last. He's not going to run again. This is it. So, and he has another 2 years to go, but there's a lot of things happening politically behind the scenes. France, politically and socially, it's teetering. There's a lot of things happening in the background. And also, don't forget, Macron has a lot of connections and a lot of besties, other world leaders and other powerful people. And whether you like it or not, if you're French, for instance, or you're philo-français, Macron is pretty much a puppet, if you will. Like, he does what he's being told, pretty much. All right. He's charming. He has a sense of humor. The fact that he's married to an older woman, yes, woman, Candace, woman, just makes him even more of a fascinating, let's say, personality or persona or world leader. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised this is all happening now. And also we saw the transits and the astrology of it all. I want you guys to go back and watch the Candace Owens, which was on this, but she was sent cease and desist at that point when I did the reading. And this was back in January, February, I believe. You have to go back and watch what I say about this and about Candace and about why is Candace, because someone asked me, why is Candace doing this? Why is this so important? Why is it so important? Is she transphobic? I mean, Candace is far right, Catholic, no, converted to Catholicism. We kind of know who Candace is, right? So, and in that reading, if you remember, I said, well, Candace's not working alone. She doesn't come up with these ideas. She's like, okay, I'm gonna do a series on Brigitte, becoming Brigitte. I'm gonna do a series on Epstein. Not Epstein, Weinstein, sorry. Weinstein. I'm gonna do one on Epstein, whatever it is. She's an amazing, in my opinion, she's an amazing journalist, amazing sort of like investigative reporter. She's someone who's really after the details and the facts. But who's behind all this? I don't think it's just her and her husband. So go and watch that reading. Really, you guys? Do you see how energy works? Go back to the Diddy ones, to the Diddy videos. They were all blurry. And then when I would change the topic or, we would stop, they all cleared up. It's just crazy. Sue from other countries. How is it valid? It's possible. You've got to choose where you're going to sue, which jurisdiction. They did not want to sue in France because in France, it's, in my opinion, living in the EU. But the French law is very different to British law or Greek law or from different, countries of the EU. But I believe that the reason why they're doing it in the US is because the US, the law is a lot more. For instance, it's the lawyers that have private investigators. They do all the research, right? They collect all the evidence. They collect all the stuff. In France and in Greece, for instance, it works differently, right? It's like both parties, they all put their evidence in the docket. Then it goes through to the judge. Then the judge decides what's admissible, what isn't. There's a whole thing. I believe that they chose the US because they want to make it a bigger thing, right? They just want to make it a bigger thing. And also because in America, uh, lawsuits, trials happen much faster than they do in the EU. In countries like France, in France, for instance, it could have taken 5, 6 years until anything happened with that, you know. So this is why, and it is valid. They absolutely can. Now they have to incorporate, I believe, because they're French, but she's an American citizen, so it makes sense for her to be sued in her domain rather than his domain, because she's sitting there in Tennessee, wherever she lives. She does her videos and all that. So that's her domain, that's her base, and that's where you should sue. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just using my common sense here. I don't know. But well, I do watch a lot of like legal shows and stuff. Okay. Um Yes, you have to get a lawyer in the country. Well, I've mentioned before that I was threatened to be sued by a big American celebrity. Big, okay, he's not an A-list. It's a guy. Okay, someone who is famous, but in his mind, he's even more famous. And for something stupid, nothing I did wrong, but this was basically suing me to get to someone else and subpoenaing me the correspondence that I had with this other person. And let me tell you, they wouldn't be able to sue me in the US. Okay, they wouldn't be able to say, okay, what we're doing is we're going to the Southern District of New York and we are dropping our lawsuit there and we're suing you there. They would have to come to my country, to me, and they would have to use the Greek law, find Greek representation, would have to have like an American lawyer, but also like a Greek representative, legal representative here. And that would have been a nightmare for them. It would have been very expensive, very time consuming. It would have gotten nowhere because of GDPR laws and privacy compliances. So it all just never went anywhere. Anyways, it was just that, rich, powerful people, they use their lawyers to intimidate and bully people to get what they want. It doesn't mean that they're going to go through with a lawsuit because they don't want to lose millions and billions of money, and without, without being certain they're going to win as well. So if they are going to send their hound dogs to you, their shark of lawyers, just so you know, just a little tip, because I've been through it, and being someone who's like not a public figure, but someone who speaks publicly about things. Let me tell you, that's their bullying tactic using, well, look at Blake, right? They use their lawyers to bully people. And my advice to you guys is never give in. Talk, get legal advice, and always respond in writing. Don't let it, don't think that it's going to go away, that they're not going to get back to you, they're not going to do anything. You have to respond in a way like you would respond in front of a judge. And this is what I did, because I responded with a very scathing letter. I wrote it myself. And well, obviously my lawyer checked it before I sent it off, but I wrote it and it was just, you know, I was very, and never heard back from them because it didn't work. That's what they wanted. They didn't want to go after me because I hadn't done anything wrong, but they wanted to intimidate me to release correspondence and things about someone who I was a friend with, who this person wanted to go after. So yeah, I'm just saying. So what they did is, it makes sense. The Macrons going after Candace in Delaware, I believe, because I believe that's where her lawyers are based. Okay. So, wait, did I miss a question? You guys, thank Danny for gifting a Femtarot membership. You'll be able to watch that Candace reading. Whoever won it can watch the Candace reading. Okay, what did I miss? I don't know. I didn't get that. I didn't get that information. I did not get, but Candace has, she's turning on Trump now, which is interesting. But I don't know. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to see if I can get that, try to answer that, but this is okay. I'm just gonna throw it. It doesn't make sense to me, Danny. You're the detective. You are our online detective investigator. I don't know why, but I saw a boat, a fishing boat, with the nets, that they have these huge nets, and I saw fish. So I don't know what the connection is. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why. I asked my guys, and this is what I got. What does that mean? I don't know. This could be symbolic for something, or this could be someone who maybe owns some kind of like frozen goods or frozen. This is more the direction I'm going, like someone who owns like frozen, like shrimp and frozen, what are they called? Seafood or fish or some kind of connection with that. Some kind of, and I'm also, when I did the reading back then, I also saw that she does have a political connection, not necessarily someone who's active politically now, Republican or not, I don't know that, but someone with a history, uh, someone very respected, well known in politics, and someone who comes from a family of politicians, like a history of politics. If that helps, maybe that helps with your investigation on that. Okay, with regards to Candace, let's do this quickly, and then we'll get to because we're already, like, I know for the replay crew, it might be a lot to watch like a 2-hour video, which is why I add these like photos, so it helps me do this timestamps to help everyone. Okay, let's see what how's this gonna go for Candace? Like, where is this all going? This lawsuit, the defamation lawsuit. Where is this all going? Candace Owens. Where is this all going? Yeah, we'll get the Coldplay Couple in a sec, you guys. Hold on. Let's do a quick one on Candace, because obviously we're going to be talking more about it. Not every week, obviously, because I'm not that interested. But okay, so I have the judgment. Oh Lord, they don't like her. They don't like her. They want her to shut up. They want her to get a piece of her own medicine. All right. This is what's happening. They believe that with this lawsuit, they can get like mainstream media on their side, and they can start sort of, that untraceable smear campaign that by Lively's team, which is why they sent out the subpoenas, because they were trying to find this untraceable smear campaign. Well, it feels to me, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, this is a psychic tarot reading and it's not based on facts. It seems that Macron's the sole reason, or the main reason for this lawsuit, is because they, using media, using this traction that this has picked up. It's picked up. Everyone's talking about her. Okay, sure. Candace has been talking about it for the last 6 months, but not everyone knows who Candace is. Not in Europe. Okay, not in Europe. A lot of people don't know who Candace Owens is. I didn't know who Candace Owens was up until a year ago, 9 months ago, because I'm not affiliated with her politics. Like, I'm not aligned to who Candace is. But I respect her for her investigative reporting, and she's extremely just quick-witted. All right. So, judgment, I believe this is their way. I agree with Candace when she says this is PR. I agree. This is PR. This is using PR to not make this go away, but to, I'm trying to find a different word. Wait a second. They're trying to I don't want to use the word defame, but I can't fight for the lack of a better word to defame or to ridicule Candace using the media, using X, using the social media as well, saying, listen, we're suing, so we're not lying. Yeah, you shut up, little girl. This is how it feels like with this judgment card. Like, zip it. Look, we're now out here, guns a blazing. We have our lawyers on it. We're suing across the pond, like cross-Atlantic lawsuit here, because they're going to use all this to distract from the Brigitte not being a woman allegations and making Candace look stupid, look conspiracy theory delulu. This is why this is all happening right now. Ace of Cups, the Hermit. This will listen, as confident as Candace is, and she might as well be, maybe, like, truly she believes it. Maybe it's true. Brigitte is a man. Maybe it's true. Maybe she believes it, truly believes it to her core, to her bone. She believes it. But unfortunately, this is going to take a toll on Candace, on Candace's career, on her reputation. This is what they're trying to do through this lawsuit. They want to ridicule Candace and make people stop taking her seriously. But it's not going to go to the courts. It's not going to get to court. They're not going to get to that. 10 of Pentacles. They already offered to silence her by offering 50 million and 50. I don't remember the amounts. But with this 10 of Pentacles, it's all going to come to a closure. It's all coming to, with an agreement. With an agreement. It's not going to court. The Wheel. Yeah. Things are changing. And the Emperor. The Emperor. Macron have someone a lot more powerful on his court. No pun intended. Or his side, on his corner. Okay, this is not just Macron doing it, saying, "Oh, poor Brigitte, mon petit chéri, mon petit poupous, I feel so bad for you, Brigitte. Let's sue that damn Candace Owens." No, I feel this was someone else encouraged this. Someone else encouraged the Macrons to do this. People do. Listen, again, I don't align with Candace's political beliefs about things that she said. Things that she said some things are like, wow. And I've caught her sometimes, like, I listen and she gets things wrong. Let me just say that. But I respect that she's got balls to just quote her, because this is what she said about Brigitte. That she has the balls to talk about things like that. She doubles down. She is very eloquent. She is very quick-witted. She is very educated. So there are a lot of things that I respect about Candace. Okay, so I'm not going to completely think, but Candace, this is not going to go well for you. This is not going to go well for you, because in what sense? It's not like, again, there's not going to be a trial, so the truth is never going to come out. So meaning Macron's never going to say, yes, I'm a man, or no, the facts or the truth is not really going to come out. But this is going to Candace is going to take a hit professionally, her reputation, her brand, of course. I don't know, you guys. It's also, let me just say this. Isn't it a little bit humiliating when someone attacks you? Again, I'm not saying Brigitte is or is not a man. I'm just saying, I'm trying to see it from, like, if it was me, right? it would be even more humiliating for me if I had to actually come out and say, oh, I took a DNA test, chromosomes, blah, blah, blah. This is it. It's like you're feeding into that, right? You're just falling into that trap. You're falling into that trap and you're like, oh, I will show you. No, I'm a woman. Here's my gynecologist confirming it, or, my DNA test, or whatever it is. You're kind of feeding into that energy. So I agree with them and I see why they are not doing that. It's just like a game of tit for tat. She's the first lady of France, this, like, she shouldn't do that. Now, if she is a man, okay, if she, well, no, is a man. If she was born a man and this comes out with facts, like undeniably, undeniably that she is, then that's going to cause a huge social unrest and rift in France for sure, and Europe. I mean, it's just like saying, I don't know, Camilla. I'm just using an example. Like Camilla, someone coming out and saying Camilla was a man, she was born a man, and I have the proof and I can prove it. And Kamala just saying, no, but wait, I'm going to send you my DNA. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not good. You want to hush it. You want to make it go away. You don't want to feed into it. That's how I see it, in my opinion. Okay. Okay. Born a male, sorry, a man, woman. Like for me, yeah, maybe it's my terminology. I can't keep up with them. Especially nowadays, there's so many like political PC words for different words. Sometimes I'm always like worried that I might say the wrong thing and insult people. And if I do, I apologize. I don't do it on purpose. I'm just a human being, and sometimes, some things just slip through. And Macron, to begin with, feels I'm telling you, there is someone behind her who's pushing this. It feels that there are some, like, something huge is coming, it's happening politically on a global scale. And it feels that it's just, she has some there's some kind of connection. They're trying to hit hard. I believe it's like they're hitting, it's political. I feel it's because she is far right. She is very outspoken, even though she speaks ill of Trump now. And a few months ago, she was supporting Trump, but okay, fine. I believe there is like something huge is coming. Like, I feel it's like the far right trying to dominate or trying to infiltrate, maybe because of, there's a lot of money here. There's a lot of money at stake in general with all these people, just to infiltrate the EU. And I've said this before, and I feel this is also connected to the future of the EU, because I've said this before in my predictions that I see the EU dissolving, like, as it is now. So I only see like 3 main states being part of the EU, or being like the mega superpower of Europe, and that would be France, that would be Germany, and that would be what's called Germany and Austria and Switzerland and France, pretty much. Those are who I see, you know. About Candace, why bring her gender into anything? Because that's shocking. That's something huge, right? That's huge. It's really to create not ripples, tide waves. That's why the focus is on the gender. Good question. Very good question, because Xavier Poussin, whatever his name, Xavier Poussin, I think, he doesn't have the following and the influence that Candace has, in my opinion. He doesn't. he's written a book, and I believe he's hiding in Italy because he is wanted in France, so he can never return back to his country. Well, at least not for as long as Macron is the president. So I mean, first of all, how can they subpoena him, or how can they reach him if they can't find him? There's that. They don't know where he is. Where are they gonna send their lawsuit? And he's not as huge as Candace. Candace has influence. So she has a big following. I believe she has 4 or 5 million on YouTube, and I don't even know on social media. So huge. If they had that, we know there's tons of other stuff. So many people hide their stuff. So many politicians have their dirty little secrets. All of them do. Some are huge, some are smaller, some are weird, some are disgusting, they all have. But it's about time that things come to light. I'm not talking about the Macrons now. I'm just talking in general. And this is what's happening in this age of Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius. It's all coming to light. Everything that was hidden in darkness is coming to light. All these people are coming down. I'm bored saying it. I haven't stopped saying it. Yeah, there's also the Le Pen thing. Le Pen is far right. At some point, her popularity went up in France. And it's already, there's also some kind of comeback with Marianne Le Pen. So this could also be part of it. This could also be part of why Candace is now so outspoken and so rabid when it comes to the Macrons and her gender. So it's all political. Okay. You guys, I don't know. It's all weird to me. I'm not someone who judges people that have like a big age gap. Whether the male is the youngest. See, I said male. The male's the youngest or the female is old. I don't care. But 15 with 40, I mean, anything that is, even if he was 18, I find disturbing. You know what I mean? So you fall in love with who you fall in love with, regardless of age and background, whatever. And I'm all for that. But 14-year-old, their voice has hardly even cracked. They're in puberty. Their voice is like, oh my God, I can't. I have a son. I just don't even want to think about. I just don't even want to think about my son falling in love with a 40-year-old woman at the age of 40. Oh, different times, of course. Then, I mean, I don't know. Back then, they would sweep a lot of things under the rug. Just saying. All right. Okay, you guys. Let's wrap it up slowly. But let's get to the biggest thing that came out this week and the biggest viral moment of the week, which is the extramarital affair couple got caught at the Coldplay. Well, Chris Martin called them out. Will they marry each other? Ness is asking. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me do a little let me neutralize my deck real quick. They shouldn't have, in my opinion, they shouldn't have reacted the way, like, ooh, the one was like hiding and the other one was like that. I loved the memes afterwards. I loved it, but so funny. But I felt so bad for their family. But so just if they hadn't done that and they just nonchalant kind of like, dropped their hands or whatever, no one would have noticed. No one would have paid attention. But this is the power of the internet, people. And Mercury retrograde. Again, isn't it funny that it happened during retrograde? Because double retrograde, because we have Saturn too. Because what happens is everything comes to the surface. Everything comes to light. Secrets. Anything that you're hiding will come to light. VR, I see your questions. I'm not going to do them today because it's been a long live and I'm still not myself, if you will, because of the of everything this week. So yeah. So are they going to marry each other? Can someone remind me her name? His name is Andy, but what's her name? If you can drop in the chat, it helps me. Yeah, this is for Campfire. I told him I was going live, but I know he texted me. I didn't see his. He'll see it. I'll ask him to. He says he's traveling. Oh no, he's not. All right. What's her name? Kristen. Kristen, thank you. Kristen Cabot. I'm going to pull 2 cards. So I'm going to pull, I mean, not 2 cards. I'm going to pull cards for Andy. What's his surname? I don't remember now. And cards for Kristen. Because I want to see their energy separately when it comes to this. And then I'll be able to tell you more. Ooh! It seems that Kristen's husband was suspecting, not with Andy, not with the CEO necessarily, but it seems that the husband was suspecting that his wife was being naughty. Okay, Andy, 5 of Pentacles. Look at this. He quit, right? He resigned. He had to step down from CEO, right? Ooh, this is not going to be good. The son, does he have a son? The Sun, King of Pentacles, very much CEO. I don't see feelings here. Like I don't. 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups for Kristen, Temperance. So what I'm seeing is it seems that let me show you Kristen's cards because I feel like she was more into him than he was with her. Like she likes him. She felt comfortable with him. Almost to the point where maybe if she wasn't married or they had met years earlier, like he would have been like marriage material for her. Yeah, he would have been like someone that she would marry. 6 of Pentacles here. Okay. Sleuths. It would be interesting to see via LinkedIn maybe. When did she get promoted to chief people officer? I keep calling her chief people pleaser. Chief people officer. When was she promoted? Because it seems to me that he made that happen. November 2024. Ness, you're so fast. I love you. She joined the company November 2024. She joined the company November. He was helping her out. I believe they knew each other before she got this job. Full stop. I don't know if they're going to admit it, but they knew each other before they met an astronomer and before she got this job. Full stop. He was helping her out, saying, you come in, I'll give you this position, or I'll make this position, or I'll create a position for you, create something for you. He trusted her. Temperance here. Ooh, she seems to be like she was sweet. Like, let me tell you this. He wasn't planning on divorcing. It doesn't feel like he was, planning to leave his wife and marry Kristen. But I don't have 6 of Pentacles. Who said Ness? I have 5 of Pentacles, not 6. I have 5 of Pentacles. So this was just the Sun. Fun and games. The fun and games. It's like it's fun. It's easy going, having fun. We canoodle, you know, after 6 p.m. meeting when everyone's home. We'll just canoodle at the meeting room, whatever it is. Yeah, he's a businessman, all right? I know he seems like he has like a very clean face and he seems very likable, if you will, but this guy is not. He's a ruthless businessman. He didn't become CEO of a big fintech company because of his looks, because of his good heart. You know what I mean? So, but she was definitely more the world. Yeah, the world came crushing down for them. Four of Wands. Who asked about marriage? I believe that maybe Kristen or Kristen or Kirsten or Kristen. I believe she was fantasizing of maybe just, you know, being with him, like, you know, getting divorced and then being more open and more free with her relationship to Andy, to the CEO. But 10 of Swords, they're not getting married. This relationship is done. Done. The humiliation, all of it, families, all of it. 10 of Swords, nope. It's done. It's not, they're not a couple anymore. Right now, at this minute, they're not a couple anymore. Her husband suspected. So, in my opinion, and I do not want to destroy this family or do not want to humiliate this family any further, but I'm going to say this. This is not her first extramarital rodeo, if you know what I mean. Yep. Nope. No. And I believe the husband knows, suspected, knew about the past, all of it. So, and from what I'm getting, it appears that the husband was like, okay, this is an open marriage without it being, you know, without it making it seem like it's an open marriage. It's like, you know, you do your thing, I do my thing, boo. Don't humiliate me, but it happened. So this is what I see. I don't know if you have any questions. Yeah, probably. Ah, probably. The amount of affairs that have no work environment, sadly, very common. They are, and just complicates things so bad. But I understand, I don't approve, I don't condone it or approve of it, but I understand when you're working with someone for 8-9 hours a day, and if you're unhappy in your own marital situation or relationship and you didn't escape, it's the easiest way to do it is having an affair with someone that you work with and you spend so many hours with. So yeah. Oh, Light Mission says the streets say this isn't her first affair for both. Yes. So he's more, listen, I believe that he trusted her. Again, they knew each other before they started working together. He asked her to come on to Astronomer. I'm not sure if the affair started before she came on. I don't maybe there was, I feel there was flirting, there was, you know, flirting and banter and stuff, but I don't feel that they were physical until she officially worked for Astronomer. I'm also feeling that I'm also getting that his wife, Andy's wife's devastated. This is humiliating. She comes from a conservative family or she's very religious, something along those lines. And this is what is killing her psychologically, like killing her inside. Yeah. The wife of Andy, the CEO. Let me see what else I'm getting. They're not together. The daughter comes up. Someone's daughter is coming up. Someone's daughter is coming. Someone's daughter knew about this. Someone's, his or hers. I'm not sure, but they suspected. And this really validated and confirmed what they knew. Someone's daughter, one of the two. The magician here, the magician with this retrograde death. Oh, what a nightmare. All of this is going to be forgotten. So, you know, they're not going to take a big career hit from this, especially him. So they're going to both bounce back career-wise, work-wise. with this, but the families, ooh, I feel like her family, especially her kids, I don't know if her kids, I feel nieces and nephews too. This is not going to be good, you guys, especially when they end up going for divorce. I don't see the divorce yet, so I don't see them filing yet. Maybe they're just waiting until it gets forgotten, things die down before they file. But yeah, Andy CO, what I'm getting is that he was already somewhat estranged with his wife, but not really. So there were issues in that relationship, in that marriage. It still does not excuse, it still does not make it okay or right what those two did, you know? Did they suspect? I'm getting they all kind of suspected. They weren't hiding. Like, you know what I'm getting? It's like when you have an affair at the office, okay? So a lot of times you can act very awkward, especially in a meeting room if you're in the same room, because you don't want to glance too much or you don't want to stare too much because you don't want anyone else want to catch you or pick up. You become super paranoid, you know what I mean? Because you're like, I need to keep this hidden. I don't want to ruin my relationship, my marriage. I don't pick that up with them. I don't feel that they were cautious. Like they were very like touchy-feely and very, they weren't open about that. And I believe, yes, I believe people suspected. People suspected. Not know, but they suspected. I know they're well, you know what they need to say it was humiliating for astronomer too. They're like, what the heck is their CEO doing with their people please with their chief people thingy officer? Like, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. This is a huge company with a huge revenue. So they had to do something. And I love the fact that they picked Gwyneth Paltrow because of her connection to Chris Martin. Smart, smart. Obviously, they consulted a PR agency. Smart. Good for them. Good for them because business goes on, right? After 20, 30 to get the marital tax. Ooh, isn't it depends on where you live, which state you live? Because from state to state, from what I know, it's like the um, divorce, like there are different laws. Uh, yes, yes, I feel astronomer is going to bounce back. It's not. It's taking a hit now, but it's going to bounce back. Absolutely. Again, they're consulting with a big PR company agency. I'm picking up, and it's helping them, and they will bounce back. It's not going to be the end of astronomer. I know they were caught in a jumbotron. Yeah, I mean, it's wild, right? It's wild. But when I saw that, I was like, it is Mercury retrograde. I mean, and Uranus and Gemini. What did I say at the beginning? Secrets are gonna come out. Secrets are gonna come out. This is what happened. Oh, they did. They hired another one. Listen, they're gonna use that. You use Gwyneth now. Goopy goop goop for that. So yeah. All right. I think that's it for today, right? I think we covered the Coldplay couple. Coldplay couple. That's what they're going to be known for, the Coldplay couple. The Coldplay couple. We did everything. Amy Bradley tomorrow promised she needs her own video, her own show for this. And I will meditate and I will connect and I will already do all of my prep work. So I'm ready and hopefully we'll be able to bring her forward and she will answer our questions for us. But before you guys go, don't forget to like this video and do subscribe if you're new here. Do go and watch my older videos as well, do comment below. It helps a lot with the algorithm. We are growing, so it means that now the YouTube gods seem to favor this channel and me. So let's keep that momentum going by please commenting down below, like this video, comment on other videos, just interact, basically engage and interact. That's all the YouTube gods want, and I appreciate it, and thank you for the love. I'll be back tomorrow, you guys, so I hope to see you all tomorrow. We'll talk about Amy Bradley. And also, I want you guys, another thing that I want to ask you is for you to drop down below in the comments is, Jamie and I are meeting this week to do another true crime channeling session. Which one should we do next? Which one should we do next? All right, you guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the love, all the support. I'm always going to be here for you. Lots of love, everybody. Take care. Bye.